All right. I was going to say thank you guys for who's let us know where you guys are. Jeanie, should we get started?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let me share my screen.
And it won't let me record.
It won't. Okay. Then
No.
maybe it already is. Okay.
So welcome everybody. Landing pages, agent sites, going through the marketing profile today. And if you have questions, put them in the chat box for us so we know what you guys are wanting to know.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to start from the beginning. Go ahead and sign into your profile. And prior to starting on your agent website, I am going to touch on the marketing profile, just because it is a large part of it. So you go to settings, and then you go to connect settings, marketing profile. So a few tips that we have kind of learned is this: you want to make sure that your toggle button is green. Otherwise, everything that you fill in on this page will not show and will not transfer to your website. One other thing is when you put in the photos for this, you want to make sure that they are a perfect square. And I have had some trainings that say it doesn't matter if it's under, the sizing of it as far as the pixels go. That's not what I've experienced. I have experienced that it asks it to be under a megabyte. So just heads up with that, because it will distort it a little bit. If you have a team logo, you enter here, and then all of your description and your credentials, your bio, mobile numbers, website, email address, and then brokerage center, the logo. And if you guys need help with that kind of thing, just let us know, and we can get a link for that. All the market center information. This is a compliance footer, and if you put it here, it will automatically pull it into your website. So we figured out it's a little bit different on your website versus your landing page. We have to have this legal footer text, and you have to have your IBS link and your Texas Real Estate Commission, the consumer protection link. And then if there's a legal footer image, your social media links. Now this is
that, sorry, I couldn't find the comment, or else I would have commented on there. I was like, okay, now my screen scroll is different now from the sizing of you taking the shared screen. So I couldn't see the chat to write a comment. I apologize for interrupting what I was trying to say, but I wanted to see, is it possible that the footer that you just showed us, since it's important for us to have that from a liability standpoint, is that something that you all can just email out to us to share, so we can just copy and paste it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then in order to get your link for your IABS, we can get it off of the bottom of your email. If you've had the Scott Leroy team connect that for you. If you haven't, you can email them at support@scottleroy.com and get the IABS link set up for your email, for your website, any social media page that you have. And then they can also help you with the link for the consumer protection with the Texas Real Estate Commission. So yes, we will email the legal footer verbiage out, and then that information as well. And then, so social media, and then Facebook pixels and ads. So what this is if you have a Facebook page for your business, this will allow you to get the kind of measure what's working, what isn't when you run an ad through campaigns. You can connect your Facebook page, and then when you do your Facebook ads and you set those up through campaigns, it would give you a place to measure what's working and what isn't working, how many times it's been looked at, and all of that. As far as Google goes, same thing, just with Google, not Facebook. And then there are some videos on how to connect those. And if you guys are interested in that, just let us know, and that can be something that we email out as well. Something with that I just experienced is Facebook is fairly simple if you already have a business page to locate that ID. Google, I had a little bit harder of a time, so we can get that kind of worked out together. The other thing is you want your KW link, the app link, right here. You want it to show, and that's just so that, you know, once you get that app up and running, you put there's a widget to add your app at the bottom of the pages, and that would just pull that over. Okay, so I'm going to go up. I'm going to go over and get started on actually designing your site. So we want to go to consumer, which is the last icon at the bottom. We want to go over to site and app settings. And then we'll go over to agent site options. And this is when you've not set up your page. This is just from scratch. So agent site settings, you want to do use the new KW agent site. Submit. And then this is going to give you a guide to walk through setting your page up. And there is also a Kelly guide that you can click on, and it will kind of remind you of these steps. So we want to choose your subdomain. So we want to get started, and it will walk us right through it. This is your compliance reminder. You need to have your market center, the logo. We need to have the ownership statement, and we need to have all of the other Texas compliance items. Acknowledge and continue. Okay, so right here is where you're going to choose your subdomain. You can alter the text that's in blue. So whenever I pulled this up originally for Nick, it said nickmccoy.kw.com. So we want to make this as a team page, which I saw somebody in the comments ask about. So the way we are doing that is we set up Nick, since he's the rainmaker, as the Nick McCoy team. So it will encompass all of the agents that are underneath him. There are a few things that I have seen that could be a workaround, because right now you cannot combine multiple agent sites. So there might be a workaround with that. So stay tuned. But so you can update your subdomain here. You want to go through and to confirm your domain. And then this was all the information we just put into your marketing profile. So it pulled it all over. So then you only have to do it once. This is your compliance footer link. This is the IBS. This is the Texas real estate. And then legal footer images, which I didn't have one, the imagery, and then his profile picture. So what's going to happen is we have our KW Plano logo. So how this is going to be displayed is you can pick this logo right here. They're from all of whichever KW logo you want. And then we have, if you have a team or even an individual logo, it will show up side by side right here. So then if you want to connect all of your social media, it'll provide a link at the very bottom for people just to find you that way. Let's see, so right through here, which you can see at the bottom, we've got the compliance statement, IBS, the Texas real estate compliance stuff. And then, sorry, I'm gonna move my pictures of you guys over so I can see. You would go save and continue, and it would take you to the next page. So what we're doing now is we're going to pick our style and our theme. So right now you're looking at the dark theme. So everything that is black right here would go to, with this red theme, would turn to red. And it just preference completely. Your homepage text. This is going to be this text right here, right under the search bar. You can put whatever you want here. Let's see. Okay, and your hero images. This is what is going to scroll behind this. There are 5 images allowed, and they've already provided some. If you think, some that look, more like the area you service, then you can pick those. You can upload your own. They do recommend that they are a wider angle. That way the visibility fits better and it's not skewed. So in order to add one, you would just delete one of these and add your own. You can only have 5 at a time, so don't think you're going to upload them and then delete all of the ones that they've provided. You want to delete them first and then upload the ones that you like. And then we want to scroll down. I'm having a hard time. And we want to save and continue. Now it's going to take us to our first page, or I guess second page whenever you're in the drop down. This is what they're calling the company profile page. This, you can change the name of this. So right here, the page title is showing company profile. You can change that to, about us, or like right here in the slug. So what the slug is at the end of the Nick McCoy team.kw.com, it's got the / about us. So the slug is going to be anything at the end of that. So right here might be a better way to see it. And that can be, if you want this to say company profile, you could just take the about us out and put company profile here. The SEO description. This is going to be anything that you want to, if somebody's Googling you or Googling in general, this is something that are going to be like descriptive words that could be pulled from that Google search. And then content is going to be anything you want right here. If you want to do, a blurb about how long your company's been in business, your intro paragraph is here. Sorry, that doesn't have anything there. And you can just type right in this box. Make sure you delete this text. That way it doesn't stay in the front. I have noticed that doesn't always go away when you start typing. So these sections are, if you want to talk about, different services that you offer, anything like that. And then these pictures as well should be square. Otherwise they will be distorted. This is your footer headline. You can delete this. It's not needed unless you've got a tagline or something like that you want on the bottom of every page. But then it will go into all of this information is down here. I'm going to continue. Oh, let me go back up and tell you about this. So what navigation is, and there's another place to do it as well, but if you drag and drop these, so that we went through company profile, and then the home you can't move, but then we'll go through about me and contact us. But if you like company profile, last, you just drag and drop. So just if you want to move things around, what you get, your listings up there, or whatever you want to go first. That's where you would do that. One of the places you would do that. Now we're going to go continue. Okay, so this is your about me page. So this is where your bio is going to show, your headshot, your contact information, all of that stuff. You can put your SEO description here. Same thing. You can do a little bit different wording depending on the page. Slug is going to be, again, what comes after the slash. Continue. The contact us form. You can, again, move it around with the navigation. You can change the title of this page to however you want to say it. The slug, the SEO description. Now, content on this, anytime that there is a blank that's got this kind of grayed out text, that's you kind of hinting to them what you're looking for there. So you cannot change these things, but if you want to change the message and kind of, you know, if they're inquiring about a specific property, or you want to know how they found you, or anything in addition to this or instead of this text, you can enter there and it will show. Just save and continue. Okay. One other thing on that was on your drop down for your phone numbers. Make sure that the phone number that you want displayed on your website is the phone number that's showing in the drop down. If you entered multiple phone numbers, that will display, the drop down will display all of it. So just click the one that you want. The other thing that I've noticed with that is the layout of the phone numbers. It will only take 12 spots. So you can't do your parentheses around your area code or anything like that. Okay, so next you would do the manage sites. Okay, so you can see right here as of the date, these are the ones I just created. And you can see that they're showing the teal color. And then this one's showing grayed out. So what the grayed out means is that they are not active and visible on my page. Right now, neither are these because we've still got to do one more step before they are. So something that I have noticed with this spot is you can only have 10 total pages on your site that are visible. Once you go in and you can add it here, we'll go to let's see, agent sites settings. Pages. Okay, so site and app settings, and you want to go to site pages. Okay, so with this, you can see that these are all of the pages that I currently have displayed on my website. So then it went ahead. Let's see, looks like it did add those. If you want to add a page, you would go through here. And so this is created on May 18th. So these are the ones that I just did with you guys. And so we would click those one at a time. So we click it, continue, and it would then add a page, new page. Create the title. So if you named it, if this was the contact us, you'd want contact us to be here. Your URL slug, you'd want to match what you put in on the site page. Again, SEO description, can be whatever you would like here. So then you would hit, you'd hit save page changes. Now, if you create a site, the way to remember this is you create a site, but if you don't add the page, the site doesn't actually show. So you need a page and you need the site created. So then if you, let's say, make changes to something, it will create the site again. So one tip is that you might want to say, okay, contact us. If you've updated something, instead of saving a second version of it, maybe you put contact us to or updated or whatever. That way, when you're going in here and we're changing this, in order to change this out, you do select page. This would come up again, and if I had multiple contact us, like right through here, see how they all say contact us to. If I had changed one of those to say updated, I would know which one I really wanted. So just a thought there, because I did it the hard way, obviously. Trying to think if there was anything else I was going to talk through. Can you think of anything I'm forgetting for this part?
No, I think you did great. I was going to say, are there any questions on what she's gone through so far?
So what you were going through right now, is that just the landing page, or is that?
This is specifically the agent site. So this is the
Okay,
site
that's still
that
the agent site page. And
yes.
you're
And then,
updating the pages within the agent site. Okay.
yes. So then when you go on, and this is not this class, it's a little more advanced, would be when you're creating your custom pages and things like that, you would still need to do this step, but creating the page itself would just look a little bit differently.
Okay.
So, and if you're interested in that, some of those videos, we can definitely send those. And I mean, we've got some of the trainings that our office has done, but then there's also those Scott Leroy trainings that are on YouTube that I found have been really helpful. And just make sure they're more recent, because you know, this has changed. We've got more capabilities, so it does look a little different. And I watched one that was a little older, and it was a workaround, and it just didn't. I had no control over where everything sat on the page, whereas I watched a newer one and it told you how to control that. So that's a little more advanced, but if you're interested in that, just let us know.
I'll do the basics for now.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, though.
Okay. So
I have a question. So, on your agent site page, there was, beside the KW at the top left, there was a picture that I've seen on other agents' site. How do I update that?
So you're talking about what was behind?
I think it was to the right of the KW on the agent site. There, for example, if you look at Eddie Grass, his has a EG, and it's just letters. But did you show that on how to update that on your agent side as well that I
Let me
missed?
go on here and see.
So are you talking about the personal logo?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So what you would do in order to update that would be in your marketing profile,
Uh-huh.
where it says the team logo or things like that. You would update that with your personal logo.
Perfect. Okay. So I need to go back over there. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Kim, I am gonna stop sharing.
Okay. So we're going to go on to making a landing page now. So let me share my screen with you. And all right, so I am right now into the consumer applet, which is towards the very bottom of the list. And from here, hold on, from here you would go over to the right-hand side where it says create a new site, and you'd click into this. And so there are multiple reasons people do a standalone website landing page versus adding to your agent site. People do it for open house sign-ins. They want to have just a standalone page for a property listing. Right now, especially where not everybody can go view the site and stuff like that, it might be a good idea to have a site because we can add videos to it, so you could do a property walkthrough with it. People just do them for like testimonial pages, or if you have a specific ad you're running and you want it to go to a specific page, are some of the reasons why we do a standalone page. Now, to create them is the same way. We'll have the same features. However, if you want it connected to your actual website, you need to choose on my agent site. If you're doing a standalone page where you don't want to connect it, that's when you choose this one here. So once you choose the type, you do create a page. And the first thing I like to do when I come in here is I like to name it so I know how to find it later on. And so for today, I am just going to label it with today's date so I know when I created it. But you can put like the property address up there or open house with the address. you know, whatever you, however you want to be able to find it. This is for your records up here. So before we start creating, I just kind of want to walk you through some of the features. So one of the things is over on your left-hand side, there are different ways you can view it. So this is a desktop view, how we have it currently. Then we have a tablet view. So if I click into it, it will show me what I'm creating would look like on a tablet. And then the last one is mobile view. And this is what it would look like if people are viewing it from a mobile phone. When I work in here, I personally like working in the tablet field. And so then we have an undo button, and then we have a redo button here. And I find those useful because I tend to make mistakes. And so I appreciate being able to undo or redo things that I've done. And so then over on the right-hand side, we have the toolbar. The one we're going to work primarily in is the widgets here. And these are things that are already pre-built for us that we just have to kind of personalize a bit. And then we have content blocks, which if we wanted to add, another button, an image, text, things like that. And then we have layout blocks that if we're kind of going from scratch, it's like, we'd like this to look like grids, or we would like this to be divided in thirds, things like that. And so those are the basic building blocks on building our web page. And then we do have some other toolbars over here that we actually will not get into today. But they're like the style manager, trait manager, and things like that, that work more with the layout and the content blocks and not necessarily with the widgets. So when I start a website, I personally like having a branded header up on top. And so I just choose that widget and I slide it over from here. And so the next thing is, you know what, let's do this as a new listing. So I am going to, since videos are really something that most people are focusing on a lot right now, I actually am going to start it off with putting a video in here. And so right now, there's not a specific video here, but it is holding a place for when I go and configure the widgets at the end to where a video will pop up. And so after that, I'm going to choose the listing widget, and I'm going to, again, just drop it in. And so as hold on. Doesn't look like it dropped in for me. Give me one moment. Oh, there it goes. And so now we have the spot holder for the listing. And let's also do a market snapshot in here so we can have the information about the neighborhoods that the house is in. And of course, we're wanting people to go and download our app. So we're going to add that in here.
For the market snapshots, we need to make sure that it's linking to the correct.
Correct. And I will show you how we can link them all up in just a moment. So you can go in and configure each widget as you put it in. I tend to like to stick everything in, make sure I have them in the position I want, and then I go through and configure the widgets.
But I'm still finding that some of the market snapshot information is not linking to the right neighborhoods or doesn't have the neighborhood correctly.
True. That is true. You want to make sure the right information is there. So let's say it's not the right information. Sure. If you don't want it, you can always come back in here, click on it, and a little trash can's up here so you can delete it out if for some reason the information is not the correct one.
Got it. Thank you.
And so another thing that there are lead forms in here, which are fantastic. And I actually was playing with it earlier today to where anybody who enters their information into a lead form will be put into your command database for you. So let's say, you know, you're doing an open house and you want people to sign in. Oh, okay, let's have them sign in using this page. Their information will then be put into your database. And then at the very end, we do need a legal footer. Hold on.
What was that one that you just did, lead forms? I didn't see it on the right where it pulled. It's called
it's called lead forms, and I'm trying to see. It doesn't look like I actually got it in here. So There it is. There's the lead form. And then we also need to make sure we include the legal footer in here as well. And so there's our legal footer.
Kim, this is Laura. When you're doing this and setting it up, if you block the places for certain things and then you don't use them and you go away, how does it show up to the consumer? Does it just omit that place?
No, it doesn't. It actually will just leave it like how you see it currently.
Okay, thank you. That answers that question.
So once you have what you want in there, it's really important to come over here and hit configure widgets. And so on the configure the widgets, let's see here, it has a whole list of all the widgets. And so you just start at the beginning, and I need to enter a thing. So I'm just going to put new listing, but you can put whatever you'd like in there, the address, you know, just listed, whatever you would like. And then once I hit save and apply, it will then add it to the web page over here on the left. You should be able to see it. And so once I'm done with that, I just click the arrow and it will take me to the next widget I have here. This is a video one, and I'm just going to say, welcome to, and then, you know, address. You can put a description, whatever you'd like to. I'm going to say close by schools, parks, and shopping, but whatever kind of description you'd like to put there. So there's two ways to upload a video. You can either use a video URL, or you can upload a video. Today I'm going to use a video URL, and so I actually went to YouTube, and I'm going to actually use one of our tech videos to just put in there to show you how it works. And so I'm just going to go up to the address bar. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to come back to this page, and I'm going to paste the web address right here in the URL. And once I hit save and apply, it will populate for me. Okay.
Kim, it's Laura again. Is upload video from the phone? Can you do that from your phone?
If you are, I would probably download it to your desktop first or online somewhere, just because wherever you're working or creating this, if you're creating this on your phone, you can upload it from your phone. But I think it'd be kind of difficult to be able to see everything you need to trying to do this from your phone rather than a computer.
So could we upload it like to our YouTube channel? And then, okay.
And then you just use the URL code.
URL code to get them to go to our YouTube channel. Okay.
Yeah, so this is actually from the KW Plano Tech page. I went to the URL chat. I just took the URL from it, and it will then be in the page.
Okay.
And so the next widget is a listing. And so you come in here, and these are actually all the listings in KW. I always forget the acronym for it, but basically everything within the KW system across the country is in here. So when you need to be kind of specific on when you're looking for a specific address. For today's demonstration, I decided to use one of Eddie's listings. But you can put in zip code, you can put in city, whatever you need to search for it. However, I have found that the more specific you are, the better, the easier it is to find it at times. Okay. I was going to say, I looked this one up earlier and yet I'm not finding it now. Oh, here it is. So you just hit select. And what it will do is it automatically takes the first picture to be this big picture here on the left. However, if you want to do a different picture, you can choose a different one out of the ones that pulled up, or you can hit custom image and you can find one from your desktop to add to it. And so once you've decided it's what you like, you hit save and apply. And it will then update it for you to be able to see it on the left-hand side again. So if I scroll down, here's now the listing I picked with the information about it, square footage, bedrooms, bathroom years built, the MLS write-up, and then here's all the details about it. Sorry, I skipped over the photos. It will go through all the photos that are listed on the MLS. And then here's a map, you know, detailing where it is. And so then we can go on to the next widget here, which is the neighborhood one. So you can put whatever you want to as the header. I'm just going to put the neighborhood. Name, and then I'm going to do market trends. And then you search by using the zip code. And once you put the zip code in, it will then populate these with the different neighborhoods within that zip code. And then when I hit save and apply, it will then update the neighborhood information on the left-hand side. So again, if I scroll down through this, the neighborhood information is now updated to Little Forest Hills neighborhood and the stats for it. And then here, if I wanted to change anything here, I can do that. Since I've already populated the URL to my app, it's already pre-populated for me here, so I don't need to re-add that. And then it takes me down to the consumer box. And you know what? You can change this to say whatever you want. You know what? I can want more information. And then I hit save and apply. And it makes the changes again. And then the legal footer, it has the Facebook, Twitter, whatever accounts you want to put in there. It has our Market Center logo, Market Center information already in here. And if you're changing any of that, you hit save and apply. I'm going to leave that all alone for right now. So once you finish configuring all the widgets, you hit done, and it brings you back to this page. So there's a couple things that this footer doesn't include, though. It doesn't include your link to your IABS or to the consumer protection. So to add those, you would go out to a layout block, and you'd come down to where it says one section, and you come and you drop it in. Let's see. And so here I have a section, and I want to do some text. So I come back up to the content blocks. I add in the text block. So now it's telling me where to insert text. And so I can go in and create links and stuff like that. But one thing I found kind of helpful is if you go to your agent site, if you have it already put together, is here's the additional information I need for the legal footer. So I've just copied, and I come in here and I paste it in. And the links actually will stay put. Since this isn't part of the website, though, I do take out this line because that is all the information about the website. Oh, it did not keep it. Hold on one second. Let me do that one more time. All right. So once you're done here and your page is how you like it, you come up to the right-hand corner again, and you hit Publish Page. And I say, yes, I want it visible to everybody. So now, under the Consumer Applet, under the tab Landing Pages, they now have the name, the name of the page I just created and the URL, and it is toggled on. If I click this toggle, I can deactivate it if I want to, or make it inactive. But right now, we're going to just leave it on. Oh, I accidentally just said yes to deactivating it. So let me actually put it back onto active. Now, if I do not like the URL that it has, I can come over here to the 3 dots on the right-hand side, and I can hit change URL. And so it will pull up, and anything that's in the last portion of it, I can go in and I can change it to being whatever I want it to be. And I can hit create. And it will change the last part of the URL. Also, if I want to see what it looks like live, I just click on this button here, and it will now pull up the web page of how everybody will see it. So up here, it has the branded header. I can hit play, and the video will start playing right here from the website. Okay. Yeah. All right, and then we have the listing information on it. You can scroll through the different pictures while you're here. People can then also come down, through the information, the map. We then have the market trends like we stuck in it. And then they can click here to go to download your app. And then if I want more information, I can put my name in, and it will end up in your command database, and you'll end up with a notification saying you have, a new lead within there. And here we have the broker information. And
for the new lead information, are you still not like getting a notification like I have to go in and check my?
I wasn't signed on to Kelly when I tried it earlier today, but when I was in command, it actually gave me a little red dot up in the notification section telling me I had a new lead. So when I clicked into there and I clicked new lead, it took me right to who I had entered.
Yeah, it doesn't email or text us or let us know anything as of yet that we have a lead.
No, the only place I would say is maybe on the Kelly app. But like I said, I forgot to be logged onto the Kelly app when I was doing it earlier today.
Okay.
So that is your website. And let me click out of there. So does anyone have any questions on creating, not website, a landing page?
And so with the landing page, let's talk about what you're using it for and how you're sending it out. And this example that you were using it was for a property listing or an open house.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you wanted to advertise it, like sending it out to your database, you just send them that whole link of the URL with the.
Correct. So you could use the URL however you use URLs normally. You can send it in emails. If you're doing an ad through Facebook and command, there's a place that you can put, here's a URL, and you can stick it in there.
Okay.
You could post it on your social media.
Social media is what I'm thinking also too.
So yeah,
Okay.
so you can just take this link right here and go post it wherever you want it to be. And so people create them for multiple things. Most people I've heard it's for new listings, for open houses. Some people do their testimonial reviews on a separate site, on a separate page. So it's really whatever you can imagine for the most part and put together you could do. And if you're wanting to know how to do more of the details or customizing a whole lot more besides the widget, that is a different class. We're just kind of going over the nuts and bolts today.
Denise, something else I've seen this used for is client events, to invite them.
Yeah. That's actually a great idea. Okay.
And then so that data, like if you had a form for them to fill out for a client event, then that data would automatically pull into command. Like I saw somebody, I guess, for those of us that are on Bold Pivot, had posted that they did a client event where they gave away watermelons, and they had them sign up on their landing page because they only had so many, so they needed to know they only had 100 watermelons to give out as a come and pick me up, but it automatically uploaded their information into Command.
Mhm.
It-
And that's a lead form.
okay.
The only comment I have to that, and Kim, if you've seen different, correct me, is anything that they put into, like we used one of these a while back for an open house. And we would get their information, their name, their phone number, all of that things. And I tried putting like the open house, like the address in the message section, just so I could kind of know, okay, if we had multiple open houses going on the same day, this one came from 123 Main Street and this one came from 456. So that part of it is still being worked out from what I know. And I know that when we were messing with this then, we would get that information, but we wouldn't necessarily get the message part of it. Have you seen that different, Kim?
The message I stuck in this morning when I was playing with this did come through into the timeline.
Okay, good enough.
It, however, did not tell me what landing page it originated from. It just told me it was from a landing page.
Got it.
So then maybe in the comments of that one, you just put, start with the address, and then your questions.
If an existing client submits their information, and client events, it's going to be a lot of clients that are existing, should already be in Command, your database. Is it going to pull out duplicates, or is it going to recognize? You're smiling.
I'm smiling because as far as I know right now, it will create duplicates.
Okay.
Unless that's been updated recently.
Yeah, that's what I've been finding is I have a lot of duplicates.
Yeah. Okay. So the next part is, since we are under the consumer applet, I also wanted to kind of touch on our buyer guide. Oh, I guess first of all, I should probably tell you how to edit your landing page. So there's a couple ways. You can click the 3 dots and hit edit, and then you can go back in and change whatever you want to on it. The other way is going into the designs applet and choosing landing page as your tablet, as your tab, and then you can choose it from there and pull it up. But either way will take you back to the designing phase of your landing page to be able to change things. All right, and so I'm just quickly going to go over the guide builder because we only have a few minutes left, but the guide builder is actually dealing with your app, and it also can be part of your website. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, but I'm actually going to show you. So on the app, there's a place you can see it, but also on your website. So if your client is logged on to your website, so I logged on earlier to the website here, there is a tab that appears that says guide. And when you hit guide, it then will take you to either the buyer or the seller process that you've created in Command. And so here's my timeline. And so for the buyer, here's each step that I can mark off when I complete it, or as the agent can mark off when it's completed. Same thing with the selling guide right here. So this one says, oh, I've already scheduled an appointment. So if I click into it, it gives me more details. And then I can hit next step and complete. And so this is all designed within Command. And so it is under the consumer applet, and it's under the tab guide builder. And so here you see buying and you see selling. And these are the two guides, and they are pre-populated when you first come into them. So these I've actually customized to follow how we work with our clients. And so if you want to edit any of them, you come to the pencil on the left-hand side. And so just like how it kind of showed on the website, or it shows in your app, you have the picture right here. And you click into it, and this is where you can come in and you can change out the picture. So you just click here to choose a different picture if you want. This is the title you give it. And then the subtitle is what you'll see right here before they click into it for more information. And then the workspace text is where you add in additional information you want them to know about the process. And once you've got it how you'd like it, you hit Save Changes. It will automatically update here in front of you, but it will also automatically update onto your app or onto your website. One thing I have learned going through these, when you go into them, you have to have an image. It will not save it unless you have an image associated with it. And it is important to remember to go in and put in the workspace text, because if your client clicks on it and there's nothing there, they'll just see a blank screen next to the side. And so truly this is to customize whatever you want your clients to know about how you work with them. And so once you have this all set up and you're working with clients, where you can see it is under opportunities. And so if you go into opportunities, let's see. And then you go under the client card. So my computer's a little slow, so it's taking just a minute. Hold on. Oh, sorry, I don't remember where I have the card at, so give me just one moment to find it. So I'll come here to my test card I have. And so under here is the seller profile. If it's a buyer, it will say buyer profile. And this is where I can manage the guide for each individual client. So I can come through here and say, oh, look, scheduled appointments complete. And I can mark things off here, being like, oh, okay, I got owner's favorite features, and I can hit save changes, and then it will show up on the app for the client or on the website if they log in, so they can see where we are in the process of their either home buying or home selling. So I know that's kind of a quick overview, but does anyone have any questions on it? Or
Have you started using these for Robert, or?
Yeah, I have.
The steps, and so people are finding it pretty easy, like they would have to have your app.
Mm-hmm. We're still kind of testing out with our clients, seeing how well they do with it. But yeah, we've started using it, and I've really liked it, because once you train your customers to look at it, you don't necessarily have to contact them saying, oh yes, you know, this is where we are. They can just look and see, oh, okay, cool. You know, they got my pre-approval, or, you know, we, you know, submitted the contract, or whatever the step is, that, okay, we've completed that part, we're on to this part. And it kind of gives them also a reminder, if they go and look, oh, this is what I'm needing to be doing right now. Because sometimes I have steps in there that they need to complete and return to me. And so it's kind of also a place they can go and have more of the information. Okay. I was going to say, so you guys. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Charles, will you mute yourself, please?
Oh, cool.
Perfect.
Okay, so there's a question, is there additional way to add a guide besides buyer or seller? And there isn't. Those are the only two right now that we have the possibility of adding. And they are pre-populated for you. So one thing I would probably do is go and look and see what's already there, and just kind of make changes to what already has been set up, and making sure if your clients do have your app and find the guides, that they're not getting misinformation for how you are working with them. So I was going to say, let's open it up, and any questions about anything, landing pages, the guide, website, any more questions on anything?
Okay, Ms. Laura, I'm going to ask a question maybe on behalf of everybody. Isn't the best way to just go in? If I can do this, most anybody should be able to do this. It is pretty user-friendly, but you do have to work through it. Is the best way to just start with the basics that are there and then do it better?
Yes.
Thank you.
I have to say, sometimes the basics give you ideas on where to go from there.
Well, and Laura, just to add to that, when it comes to adding, like creating your custom pages on your site, that does get a little more intricate. So I would say get comfortable with what they're offering and doing for you, and how to kind of edit that stuff. And then maybe take another class once we do the kind of next step up, or watch the Scott Leroy or any of the KW trainings. And those have been really helpful for me.
I'd say also be okay to fail. I do not know how many different times I've made things, deleted them, redone them. It's part of the learning process.
I think Arlene had asked a question earlier. So I had a similar question on if you're on a team and how you can incorporate that into with the other individuals having access to that one site.
So the way that we're doing it right now is I am the transaction coordinator and executive assistant. So we've got 2 agents, Nick being the rainmaker, and he does all of our listings. And so the way we're doing it right now is we just have the Nick McCoy team website, and then we've put Lee Banner is our buyer's agent, so we've put her bio on his website. And we've also, like, I could, and this is a little more advanced, but I could make a landing page all about Lee, and I could put that into a site and it would show. And by putting it into making a landing page and then putting it into the site, you have a little bit more control over the formatting of what that looks like. So right now that is a workaround. I know that they're working on kind of the more team function of that. It's just one of those things where, you know, getting everything up and running for single agents is kind of been the priority, it seems like.
So you think a good workaround right now is just to create a landing page for that other individual, and then we can break that into.
And if you want, I can include the Scott Leroy video for you. I just watched it because I was having a hard time with the formatting whenever I did kind of do a separate workaround. But when I watched this one, it gave me a better idea of kind of how to manage that. So I can send you that video just because even that part alone was very helpful.
Okay,
and if
that would be great.
you like that, that would be definitely work.
I know one of the widgets have been Meet the Team when you're on creating a page for your agent site. And so that's another way that you could make sure everybody's included that's on your team is going in there. Because if Command's set up as a team, they do have the option of who you want to add to Meet the Team page. And so everyone can be recognized there.
And with that, you have to make sure that everybody has their separate marketing profiles set up so that it pulls all that data in. And then when you go into your marketing profile, you'll have that team function, and just make sure they're in the team function when you're going to add it as the rainmaker.